Yeah, I
Oh,
pressed the record
yay.
button.
Yay. Okay, nice.
Okay. So the question is, suppose an anthropologist studies several villages in southern India. For each village, she has data on the number of people and the average age of men and women, and she has computed an index of the monetary value of various consumer goods in the village. The value of the total number of refrigerators, televisions, air conditioners, divided by the size of the population. An analysis of these data reveals that the villages with populations having the lowest average age also have the highest average dollar value of modern consumer goods. What is the unit of analysis in this study? Would it be the villages?
Yeah, the unit analysis is the villages.
The
Um,
villages.
the variables is the population size, the average age of men and women in the village, and the monetary value of consumer goods.
Would it also be the oh
I didn't hear you.
no. Would it also be the dollar value?
The dollar value of the consumer goods
Yes.
Yeah.
and the dollar value. So, can the anthropologist conclude from this association that young people purchase more modern consumer goods than older people?
I I think so. I think my reasoning is that it says that an analysis of this data reveals that the villages with populations having the lowest average age also have the highest average dollar value of modern consumer
Consumer
goods.
good.
Yeah, so when you spend more, I think what is it called? The inflation, goes up, you know. So, supply and like demand, if the prices were still low, then they wouldn't be spending that much because there is no need to spend that much money. Uh and I think I think yeah, honestly, yeah, and it's stayed consistent over several villages as well, you know.
It does. It
Uh,
says the villages with populations having the lowest average. You see the
uh,
lowest and the association between lowest average age and highest average dollar amount. But Rachel, you seem to have another thought about it.
yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Mhm.
now we
Okay,
can.
good. Because sometimes the internet is going out. But I actually disagree. Uh, Anthropologists conclude that this associates with young people, and the paragraph about that anthropologist has data on the number of people and the average age of men and women. Data for
Yeah,
men and women. That's like two different, instead of like young people, it doesn't specifically say, it just says men and women.
mm.
Average age of men and women.
Yeah, like sort of like I agree with Rachel on that because like seeing like the average age doesn't really like tell you everything. Like theoretically there could just be like just one older person and a lot of like young children, but it doesn't necessarily mean the young people are making the purchases. It could mean that the older people are making the purchases. It's just
Or
that
the young,
it
if they
happens.
have
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how parents buy cribs and stuff for babies and things like that.
Yeah, it's like the like it's not saying that who purchased the item, so I wouldn't be so confident to say that just because just because the lowest average age of a village is more likely to have buy more consumer goods it doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's the young people that are buying it. It could be like the older people in the minority older people for all we know of.
So in order to draw a conclusion from this study, um, a good point to say is that like the data should have like more specific like variables like for
Age
like teenagers,
categories,
kids, age
Yeah.
categories, for
age
example,
categories.
and what those age categories are specifically buying. You know what I mean? If it's more like if it's like you said, more general purpose items versus like, you know, like food or like food, like water bills, you know what I mean? Like well no, we said modern consumer goods, so that's like what
They
that's
said
like
modern,
yeah,
right?
so it's like shampoo, like toiletries, you know, like clothing items, stuff like that. So yeah, I gathered from it that it's at the lowest average age, but no, I see that
No,
you're right.
she's right. Yeah, she's right. So we can say the data is not specific to age groups.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to the question 2 then.
Yeah,
For
before we get
each,
cut.
yeah, for each of the following research questions or hypothesis, identify the unit of analysis, independent variable and dependent variable. Boys whose parents are divorced or separated have more behavior problems than boys living with both biological parents. Residents of rural communities are less tolerant of people holding controversial views than are urban residents. How does the level of economic development of a country affect the level of human services provided to its people?
Okay, so in A, boys whose parents, the unit of analysis would be boys. It says identify the unit of analysis. So wouldn't it be boys?
Yeah.
Yes,
then
I
the-
agree.
And then the variables, let me put a slash here. The variable would be um, parents who are divorced or separated.
Sorry.
It's two
Would
variables.
be the
Mm-hmm.
independent variable.
Right,
Right.
the independent would be parents divorced or separated, and the other independent variable would be boys living with both biological parents. It
Right.
seems to be two, right? Independent
Yeah.
variables.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, and the dependent variable would be like
Yeah.
the
Behavioral
behavior
problems.
of
Mm-hmm.
the boys or the lack of it, I guess.
okay.
I
So
agree.
the independent variable, that's the one that affects the boys, right? Would be divorced or living with parents, separated living conditions of the boys.
With
Do we
living
have
conditions.
two in
Yeah, parental living relationships, I guess, were independent.
Right, yeah, living conditions, divorced or separated with parents. Yeah.
so it'd be living, the independent would be living conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see what she said. The unit of analysis is the boys. The independent variable is the independent variable are the living conditions, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
dependent variable would be behavior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Behavior.
Mm.
Okay. So we've answered all three questions. All right. So then
And
the
then,
next one. No, we didn't.
we have to do
No, we answered
B
A,
and C.
but we need to
Okay.
do
So now we're
Okay,
doing
yes.
C.
Well, B.
Did,
That's really
B.
did we
B.
create a
Residents.
did we create a hypothesis? Sorry to interrupt. Did we create a hypothesis?
Oh,
No.
Well, it
no.
We
seems
don't
like
need
it's
It talks
already
about like
there.
look at the
Yes.
following hypothesis and like see what's the unit of analysis,
Yeah, we
independent
just have
variable.
to
Yeah,
identify the three things.
yeah, like
Right.
the
Okay.
examples are hypothesis. We don't need to do anything other than like doing which
Mm-hmm.
one is independent or dependent.
Okay.
Oh, I
Right.
see, I see. For each of the
Yeah.
following research questions or
Right.
hypotheses. Yes.
Right. Yeah, because we're running out of time.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
The
The residents
residents
would be the unit for this one.
residence is
Yeah.
the unit.
And then the
Mm.
independent variable is if it's rural versus urban.
I don't hear. Wait, sure. Maybe it's me.
independent. She said independent is rural or urban. Who? Alina said.
Rural or urban?
And then the dependent variable is the level of tolerance that the residents have.
Okay. I'm writing, you go, let's go to the next one. Tolerance. How does the level of economic development of a country affect the level of human services provided to its people? So would human services be the unit?
I feel like that could
I
be
think-
like the
think it's-
dependent variable instead,
oh.
actually.
How
Maybe,
does the
but then
level of economic
Yeah.
development of a country?
Yeah, because the independent variable would be the economic development of a country. So there's like different levels of economic development, right?
Okay,
But the human services provided will be dependent on the economic level.
okay,
Therefore,
so the unit, so would the unit be country?
Yeah.
I guess
would
The
it,
so,
unit
yeah.
of
would it be country or
analysis?
people?
Yeah.
Would it be country
Oh,
or people?
people,
No,
Yeah.
I think no, I guess it's country because like the
okay,
hum-
country,
It is a country because the people would be okay.
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
okay. And then the independent is, okay,
Economic level.
well,
economic
maybe
development.
economic development. Okay, the independent is the economic develop,
Yeah, because how does a level of
okay, right, the level,
yeah, how does a
level,
level,
Yeah, how
yeah,
does
it
that
changes.
level,
influence that? Right.
level of
Yeah, that's
economic,
independent. Yeah, so that's and the human
okay,
services is dependent on the level of economic development. Therefore, the
and
unit of
human
analysis, what we're
service,
looking for is country. So yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right, so then the next question, the contact hypothesis described recently as one of the most durable ideas in the sociology of race and ethnic relations has been investigated intensively over the past 50 years. In its simplest forms, the hypothesis is contact between members of different races fosters positive racial attitudes. Imagine you want to test this hypothesis. Specifically, you hypothesize that prior interracial contact in schools and neighborhoods will lead to greater racial diversity in one's current circle of friends. Assume you're doing a survey at your college. Okay. All right. Suppose you find a correlation of 0.23 between prior interracial contact and racial diversity of friends. What does this indicate about the relationship? Relation 0.23.
If
Isn't
it's
that bigger than 0.05?
Yeah, so it's a positive
Yeah,
relationship.
Positive, right?
positive
Positive
relationship.
relationship. Because it's bigger than 0.05. 0.05, right? Am I positive? Now, suppose the correlation was significant at p less than 0.01. What does this information reveal about the relationship? That it's
Significant.
it's negative, right?
It's significant. Yeah.
It's significant.
Okay, let's just like move on to the next question quickly. In a campus survey, a researcher finds a statistically significant correlation of negative 0.22 between frequency of exercise and depression. That is, the more students exercise, the less depressed they are. Can he conclude from these data that lack of exercise is one cause of depression? Why or why not? Now, carefully explain how gender could create a spurious association between frequency of exercise and depression.
Oh, wow. Of negative 22. Of negative 22 between frequency and
Include it because it's a weak negative relationship between exercise and depression.
Oh. Good ending.
So how will that
Yeah.
create an association between the frequency of exercise and depression? between gender.
I don't think it does, because like if there's like no correlation in the first place, that does it even like
I
I mean
think
we
they
don't have
cause
enough
each
information
other.
here.
Yeah, it's not. They just
Yeah, yeah, we
like
don't really have enough information to say
yeah,
about gender,
because
I don't
and
think
then
we
it's
have
like, oh yeah,
enough.
the
Yeah,
negative.
we don't have enough information, but the answer is no, because it is a weak
yeah. Causation
correlation.
doesn't equal
Yeah,
correlation, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay. Just
Alright.
in time to
Okay,
finish
make
off our
sure to end
questions. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yes,
recording.
yes.
yeah.
I'm ending
Yes,
the
and
recording right now. All right. All right.